Hello again, this is Space Jelly from Space Jelly Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Hasbro Marvel Legends Retro Card Wave Hercules. This is a classic Hercules, unlike the other one they made. Also, if you liked this content so far, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. Also, if you really want to support the channel, you can check out our tipping options and our Patreon. So yeah, thanks. So onto the review. I do like this version of Hercules. When he first came out, I don't know so much about nowadays. He stands at, let's put it right there, 6 3/4 inches tall, which would make him, let's see, top of his hair 17 centimeters, maybe to where his head would be 16.5 centimeters. So he's pretty sizable for Marvel Legends. So it's a good thing I didn't bring any to compare him next to, and I instead brought a Fortnite figure. There you go. Wow. He's pretty tall. And he looks better than 90% of all Marvel Legends figures because it's all because of the sculpted detail. I think that you guys have seen me compare him to other figures I've had before, and the reason I compare this figure to other figures I had is because I really like it. I'm not really a huge fan of Marvel Legends. I'm sure you guys know that, but I'm not really a huge fan of Marvel Legends. But it upsets me that they can make figures like this because it's a pretty good figure. It's not perfect, but they don't need to be perfect. They just need to make good figures. So let's go over the sculpted detail. First, let's start off with the head sculpt. Very decent head sculpt. Mark on his head? Whatever. There's a mark on his eyebrow or his left eye, but whatever. He comes with two head sculpts. This one is him smiling. I'll show the other one in the accessories thing. Pretty good head sculpt. He cuts a nice silhouette. It looks like Hercules. It's a bit detailed though, but I think it looks enough like him. It doesn't look too hyper realistic like they've been doing recently. You can see here that the anatomy is incredibly good for Marvel Legends. You can see very big shoulders. Emphasis on these big shoulders. I don't care that the shoulders look a bit ugly when you do that. If the figures just had bigger shoulders, they would all look better. You can see the tricep and bicep, brachialis, brachioradialis. Forearms are pretty big. You can remove these gauntlets too. Torso, you can remove this also. I think I actually put it on opposite because these parts are painted slightly metallic. This side isn't. So let me show you right now. You can just do that if you want. I'll keep it off for the rest of the review because this can showcase the physique more. He has chest striations. He has clavicle separation. He has abs. Abs and serrators for days. Decent back. You can see the traps there. Rear delts present. I think you can even kind of see that they tried to put what is it, like a Christmas tree? That's what they call it in bodybuilding. I don't know the exact name of the muscle group, but it kind of looks like that. Hamstrings are present. calves are big. Quads are decent. They look a bit like a certain bodybuilder named Dorian Yates. Maybe that's what this guy was based on. He looks a little bit too big for him. But, you know, a very decent sculpt. Maybe the legs are a bit shallow, like they're a bit skinny. The quads are nicely sculpted though, but he needs some more meat over there in between his legs because the thigh gap is pretty big. But overall, a very nicely done figure by Hasbro. It makes me upset because they have made figures like this, and if they made it, they're capable of doing it. So I don't know, this figure gets a 9 out of 10 on aesthetics. He's just missing some mass over there, and he's a tiny bit narrow. Like the figure could be slightly wider, or like in the top half. But he looks pretty good. This is like a perfect superhero sculpt. They should use this sculpt more often. You can even see right there, there's actual thickness and mass on the profile side of the figure. It's upsetting, but it's a good figure, so I'm not that upset. Accessories, he does come with this, like I showed you. He also comes with those gauntlets. I don't have the box with me, so forgive me if I miss anything right now, but he does come with this head. You're gonna look at it. It's a more angry and stern head. I prefer this one because I think that the brows sit at a better angle. As you can see there, it's one of those face sculpts that just work nicely. Do more head sculpts like that, Hasbro. Comes with 2 gripping hands, but these do not have the proper hinges. These are horizontal hinges. So he can't really hold his mace that good. But it's a mace. Other thing is that the gold isn't painted, so it's like the marbly plastic. It doesn't look too bad though. I actually was thinking about painting it, but I didn't. But you can see that the H symbol on his belt is painted, and it looks better than that, so I don't know. Just, it's really only a few gripes with the figure. Shows how good this figure is, because there's typically a lot of bad things. So yeah, like I said, 9 out of 10 on the aesthetics. Accessories are decent enough. I just wish that the hands had the proper hinges. I'll give it like a 7.5 out of 10. So onto the articulation. He has, let's see, a ball hinge. Goes up that far, but you can actually shift the ball peg forward and get him looking up slightly higher. He looks down pretty far. Pretty decent head. Wish it was a double ball peg though, but Hasbro doesn't know how to do that, so we're just going to ignore that. Shoulders hinge out, and people do have trouble with these hinges, and yeah, they look pretty ugly, but I don't know. Hasbro gives this figure bigger shoulders. I think that's a good enough trade-off. He can almost do it horizontally, almost a full T-pose. Double jointed elbow. It's a little bit ugly though. You can see the flat cuts, but it works. It's about a little over 90 degrees. All hands swivel in hands like I showed. Ab crunch. He can crunch forward pretty far. He can arc back pretty far, but I'm sure that you can see that there's a bit of a problem here. A lot of gapping here, and a lot of protrusion in his stomach. I don't know. I've seen figures bigger than him with ab crunches that do not need to do that. So that's a fault on their part. The waist does twist. I keep the belt lower because it emphasizes the aesthetics. You can raise it up, obviously it's a separate piece. Full rotation in the waist, but I would keep it like that. Legs go forward, legs go back. Let me just zoom out. Legs go back, legs go forward. Not the best though. And also, the legs are pretty loose on mine when they're down. Not sure why, but I don't know. Splits are not good. I'm going to be doing a review shortly that's going to show, actually I'll just show you right now about the next review. Sorry about that. This guy, I want to show you the hinges are properly placed so we can do full splits perfectly. This guy can't because they didn't seat the ball peg or the ball properly in the hinge, so it doesn't work. And it's not just because this guy has dropped on hips, he just has a better placed ball peg in the hips. Alright, now that we're done with that, thigh swivel's okay, double jointed knees, a bit of an issue with the proportioning. Lower legs are a little bit too long, but I don't think that's too much of a deal breaker. It's not that noticeable. And he has on these sandals. Boot swivel, ankles hinge up very nicely, hinge down, and an ankle rocker. So yeah, this figure, he has decent articulation, but there's a few weak points like the legs and the abs, maybe the shoulders, but I think that they work okay, even though they're not the prettiest. But if we're going to complain about that not being pretty, we also have to complain about the ab crunch and the elbows not being pretty. So I don't know. The figure has pretty good articulation. It's pretty standard though. This gets like an 8 out of 10 on articulation. You can get into the poses that you want him to be in. And the accessories are pretty good, and the aesthetics are pretty good. So yeah, I think if you can find this guy for a good price, he's pretty good. I got him for the standard retail price of $25. The figures were $25. I have no idea what they are now, but I'm pretty happy with that purchase. $25 I think is worth it for this figure. I don't think I mentioned that he has a painted on hair on his arms and his chest, but I mean that's also some more painted detail that Hasbro needs to do more of, but they did it on this figure, so I'm happy. So yeah, overall, pretty good buy if you can find it for the right price. So do some research and find ones at a good price. Yeah, anyways, thanks for watching if you made it this far. We appreciate that. Also, check out our tipping options and our Patreon in the bio or the link in the description. Also, we're reaching 100 subscribers, so stay tuned for the giveaway when we announce it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.